Felicia, Niana, as well as Priestess Makala. You're still going to get the Priestess today. The other two still taking a break. So, we're going to talk about this. And this is something that, as I was laying in bed and I was thinking about stuff, and I say, need to talk about maboas. Need to talk about Archons. I think people really need to understand what we are really embarking upon right now and how things are going to be challenging. When you go through a liberation, there's going to be this moment where you are going to be challenged to really trust your liberation. Now, what do I mean by that? To be challenged, to trust in what your liberation is. Okay, so when we talk about being in medicine groups and healing circles, things of that sort, the groups I'm talking about are your Wiccan groups, Taino medicine groups, sundancer groups, shamanism groups, goddess groups, druid groups, whatever it is, group. Even your churches, we can put that in there. And this is where Archons and maboas are looking for a way in. And when they find the crack, they come in. Hi, darling. Hi. They come in through that crack and it starts to fester. Okay? So this is a really good teaching that, one, I've experienced hands-on. I've watched it come in. I watched it come into places. I watched it come into medicine groups. I've literally watched this energy come in and destroy relationships, destroy marriages, destroy jobs, destroy businesses of all sorts, all because it just needs a little bit of a crack to come in. And it's called Who Left the Fucking Back Door Open and Invited It In. Period. And the way these Archons or maboas, it's called a maboya in Taino. And it means a energetic spirit, energy that loves to feed off of anger, hatred, envy, jealousy, betrayal energy, lies, deceit, falsehood, like making up stories and it's not true. It loves to feed on things like that. Okay? So, this is where it gets important to understand how they work. So, in the group medicine, I'll go into Sundance. My first time watching it really come in. It came in through our, and it always picks on the head leader of the big group, okay? It will go after the medicine man or the medicine woman, but more so the medicine man. Because if there's any history of that person having alcohol abuse, drug addiction stuff in the past, but they're in those positions, they are an easier target to see if they can bump them off their track. and to get in there. So I want you to think about, well, from my point, what I saw is the medicine man at that time that was over our Sundance at the time when I was doing it. It was a grandfather. And on our second, I think it was my second year, he totally fell off the wagon. He showed up at ceremony drunk, bringing with him an energy of a huge storm that came with him, of all this darkness and chaos to the land. And I thought that was really weird how he brought that with him, how it showed up with him. So I just remember sitting there. I was sitting underneath the saffron tree. Not saffron, sarsaparilla tree. Saffron tree. I wish. Sarsaparilla tree. Which, by the way, makes the best damn tea. Sarsaparilla tea. And I just watched how quick the sky became dark. And he shows up, and this rain just came out of nowhere and started flooding the land. Now keep in mind, we are in our ceremony, is flooding everything. Our teepee was getting flooded. Hi, darling. Everything was getting flooded, and I'm sitting here saying, what the hell is this? And everybody says, oh, well, he showed up and he fell off the wagon. I'm like, what? And then everybody heard my mouth when I went, what? I said, we're in ceremony. We can't have this here. What the hell is going on? We need to jump in and get this taken care of. So all the grandfathers jumped into action, got him, took him and started smudging him, did an emergency sweat to detach and to get whatever he brought in on the land off the land when it came with him. But it was almost like it was too late, because then we had nothing but chaos. We had people's cars getting stuck on the land in the mud. They couldn't drive. They got stuck. The fire almost went out. The sacred fire almost went out when the rain came. And it took about 6 or 7 people to hold something up to keep the fire from going out. And I just remember sitting there saying, what in the hell? So that was the first time I saw it. Then the second time I saw a maboya at work was when I went to the ceremony, Taino ceremony. And it was after I got my naming, and then it was like the second year went in for ceremony, third year went in ceremony, and then it got weird. We went to this land, and I think this one was in, it was in Texas. I think it was Texas. Yeah, it was Texas. It was in Texas. We did ceremony in Texas. And I just remember when we drove up on this park area where we were going, all of us were meeting at. And I said, at that time, my Sundance sister, at that time, we were doing good. There was no problems until we hit this land. And there was all kind of weird stuff started happening. Now, previous year before, we already had like 2 marriages within the sacred circle break up for no reason. It was just weird stuff happen. And I was like, huh. So the medicine cacique and the grandmothers was watching, and they said we have a maboya amongst us, and they were trying to make sure to get a handle on it. So what they would do, a part of the medicine, was to bring everybody together and to talk about your differences and get it out in the open, because we were going to go through this whole function of liberation, to liberate yourself out of the energy that you're holding that's causing you to have pain, fear, anxiety, anger. What are you holding on to? Hatred. So we sat down, we had these talks, and I just remember we were also doing medicine, a lot of different medicines that day. And then we were still all meeting up, talking about differences. And that time, I'll call her A. A was having a problem with the fact that I didn't come to a teaching that she was doing. And it's because I was sitting with the elders that wanted to talk to me about the seashell medicine and the water medicine that I was doing. And they wanted to see what it was. And they also wanted to see the big crystal laser that I had just gotten from Lorraine. And it was bringing up a lot of memory for them to see the medicine that I was talking about. So that's what I was doing. It wasn't like I just said, oh, I'm not going to pay attention to A's presentation and stuff. I got something better to do. It was nothing like that. It's just something happened really weird. And I was over here and she was doing her thing over there. So here comes the crack. Here's the back door. She literally says to me, I thought you were going to be there for my presentation and be supportive of me doing my teaching. You were nowhere around. I did not see you. Where were you? And I told her what was going on. And she literally got upset about it. I said, okay, back door. From that moment right there, this maboya came in. She became very angry. She got upset. And then said something off the wall to me. Sitting in the car, we were going to go pick up some food. And she said the most meanest little thing. And I said, you know what? That's a mean thing to say. And you know what? You owe me an apology. That's not okay. I would never say something like that to you. That's not okay. She whips her head around and says to me, I don't have to apologize to you for anything. I don't ever have to apologize for anything to you. And I said, you just said something very rude and cutting for no reason. I didn't deserve that. I would never say something in that tone to you. And she just whipped her head around and went back to what her thing. And I thought that was unusual. Because usually when you call somebody out on something, the person steps up and says, oh, hey, okay, cool. I spoke out. I said something wrong. I take ownership for it and clean it up. Nobody had a problem pointing their fingers telling me to go clean something up with somebody else. But when I asked for someone to clean something up with me, it was like, no, I'm not going to do that. It was like, oh, what bridge did you cross over that make you think that you're not supposed to do cleanup when you're in the wrong for something? I just called you out on it. And now you're telling me you're not going to fix it? Okay. So we're driving down to the store to go get the food, and I'm just sitting silently. I'm not saying a freaking word. This is the first time we've ever had like a major fight. We've never had a fight like this. And it just festered. And it just got worse and worse and worse. And then finally, when it was time for us to go home, it was like the next day later, packing up, going home. No matter what I did, it pissed her off. No matter if I didn't help her roll the tent just the way she wanted, or didn't sweep it a certain angle or shake it out a certain way, it pissed her off. And when people didn't come and help her fold up her big tent, it pissed her off. So everything just pissed her off. Okay, that's all I have to say. It pissed her off. Then when it came to packing the vehicle up, packing everything in, there's certain things on hybrid vehicles you can't block certain venting parts of the vehicle because it will burn out the battery. Now, I'm going to show you how this maboya works. Hi, darling. So we've packed this vehicle up many times and traveled. We traveled to New Orleans, all kinds of stuff. Never had a problem in this vehicle. We never had a fight. All right? So we're packing this vehicle up. And she literally snaps. Don't put anything over the bed. No, it's got to breathe. No. I'm like, I didn't put that there. You did that. Oh. I'm like, oh, we got to get out of here. Energy's not right. We got people fighting. We got you acting weird. So we get packed up. And we're supposed to be heading home. And then there's a couple of the members want to come over to her house, so they're going to follow us to the location. And we come out on the back roads coming out of the park area where we were. And this is how I knew we were in some shit. We come around the corner and we see, I am not kidding, over 100 vultures sitting in a tree, sitting on the ground. The ground was like covered with vultures, and they were all talking amongst each other. And as we're driving past, I go, wow, look at all the thunder beans. She goes, whoa, I wonder what's going on over there. I said, they're having a meeting about the mess that they have to clean up over here because it was so messy. And she looks at me and she goes, well, we're leaving now. I say, yeah. So it got quiet. So we're driving on the freeway. And all of a sudden we see this vulture off on the side of the freeway. It looked like it got hit. And she goes, oh my God, there's thunder bean on the side of the road. Maybe we should pull over and get it. I said, did you ask for a thunder bean? She goes, no. Did you? And I go, no. Not mine to pick up. That's all I said, not mine to pick up. She got upset with the fact that I said, not mine to pick up. I'm not touching it. You can do what you want. As soon as I disagreed with what her process was, all of a sudden we heard this big boom in the engine. And I was like, what the hell was that? She goes, I don't know. And all of a sudden the car just comes to stop. We're on the freeway. Just stops. And I'm like, what just happened? It's a hybrid. What's happening? She goes, this car just stopped. So we have to call a tow truck. We get towed to the nearest dealership that can handle the situation. They we have to pull everything out and transfer to a rental car. We pull it out and then we smell something. And we look down and the battery area had melted like that. And we're like, how could that happen? There was nothing covering it. It just melted. And the guy said, well, somehow the battery overheated and it melted. She goes, that's the damnedest thing. I've had this vehicle for like 8 years and I don't understand this. And I said, okay. So I'm like, now pay attention. This is all maboya stuff that's happening. Okay? This is maboya stuff. So we get in the rental car. She starts going off and doing her thing, and I'm like trying to shield the energy, and I'm like, I'm not taking on your stuff. And she says something rude to me again. We pull it to a gas station, and she was being really mean. Now, in Taino, when you're working with the Simis, and you are Atabe and Simihinyaya, Guavanuto, mother of the medicines and plants, when they have a connection to you, they protect you. Okay? I kind of get joy out of this part of the story. Because I watched it happen and I was just like, what the hell? So I'm under that beautiful umbrella of they love me. Okay? Kodakote, even Makatari. So she's just snapping off at me, being rude to me. I'm like, well, what are you doing? And I don't understand why you're acting so rude to me. You know, and I'm just like trying to figure this out. I'm like, shit, what's wrong with you? I was personally feeling attacked, like she was attacking me, which is totally out of character for her. So she gets out of the car. She's going to put gas in the car. And all of a sudden there's these bees come up around on her side of the car and one stings her. Zip! Ah! I go, what's going on? What's happening? She goes, I just got stung. I said, oh no. I said, well, you had some pain and maybe the bee medicine is trying to give you something for your pain. She goes, oh, son of a bitch, that hurt. And I go, okay. So she gets back in the car, starts in on me again. By the time we get to her place, we're out on the back part of her balcony. Okay? Finally getting things unpacked. The other friends, the family members and stuff that were at the park with us, they finally make it there and they want to take a look at her garden and all this stuff. She starts laying in on me again, saying crazy stuff and still upset about me not coming to her thing. And I'm like, could you just let that go? I just don't understand what you're so upset about. A bee comes out of nowhere and stings her again. She got stung twice in an hour. Every time she would lay into me, something would come up and sting her ass. And I was like, okay, somebody trying to put you in check. So I'm just like, oh my God, what is happening? So finally, we have the meet. I do a shell medicine on her. I'm still trying to be nice. That's me. I'm still trying to help you out, figure out what the hell's going on, why you acting like possessed Annie over here, and what's going on. So I'm like, oh God, what is going on? So I finally have some free time and I call up the grandma and I say, she just ain't been acting right. There's something wrong. She goes, there's probably a maboya attached to her that's trying to get to you. And I said, well, that's all it's been doing is attacking me through her. So I go ahead and I do the shell cleansing on her. and smudge her and everything, and she's swollen, stuff from the bee stings. And she goes, "You didn't get stung at all?" I said, "Nope, I don't get stung. Not unless it's something that somebody's going to send to hurt me. And usually it's a black hornet type of thing that someone will send to hurt me for no reason. But now they don't have any permission to enter my space because I'm under Kotokote's, um, his protection. So the next day I'm all packing and I'm like, okay, I go in the bedroom, I'm packing and stuff, and I said, okay, tomorrow I fly out, I can, head back to California and let me get some sleep. And I go into the room and I'm putting the suitcase and stuff up on the bed, and I'm in a spare room and I look down. Something tells me, look down at your feet now. I look down, there's a white scorpion coming straight towards my foot, baby scorpion with a stinger up. And I step back just in time, say, holy crap, what the hell? I've never seen a scorpion here. What the hell? So I smack it, get rid of it. I said, I'm sorry, honey, but I ain't going to be trying to love your ass. You got smacked, you got to go. We ain't got time. I don't have time to be ending up in no hospital because of some reaction I didn't have from your stinger. Forget that. I said, that's the first. I've never had that happen. So I'm like full blown, like, okay, my boy is in the right, all this stuff. Okay, I'm going to make sure, take care of myself, do what I got to do, smudge, clear, blah, blah, blah. So I get ready. The next day, we're driving out to the airport. I said, thanks so much. Had a good time, but it was kind of challenging. Hope you'll have a good rest of your week and stuff. And she didn't really want to talk. She was like, just hurry up and get out of the car and go. Kind of attitude with me. And I was like, wow, what the hell? So I leave, come back home, and 2 days later, I get this like weird ass letter from her, where it's 8 pages long, of her literally telling me that I'm the worst person on the planet. I am a terrible medicine person. And I'm this and that, and I have emotional things that I still need to work through. Now, this is before Spiral Light came and lit my ass up in the living room, okay? This was actually the doorway that brought Spiral Light in so I could help see these type of things clear. So in this break of that relationship and that stuff came in, this came in and brought Spiral Light in. So boom, I was able to clear a lot of stuff, see it, boom, boom, boom. So now, when I see maboas coming in, when I see Archons playing games with people, I can tell. I can tell what's happening. And all you have to do is just pay attention. If you and your friends were hanging out, you were having a good time, nothing was happening, everything was cool, you guys know each other in and out, you've been there for the good, the bad, the ugly, the whatever, nothing's ever brought you down. And then all of a sudden you get a moment where something is so off the wall, makes no sense, this person doesn't want to have anything to do with you ever again. That's a maboya. And usually when it comes in, it takes root of the person, will use that person to do what it needs to do to break up the energy, to break up what you were going to do together. Now, let me show you something. There was a medicine that A and I were going to do together that was going to be very powerful for helping to restore water balance back on the earth. There was this whole thing. It was a dream. I talked about it. She had the same dream. We both had the same dream. and we were supposed to do this water ceremony together. That got pushed out of the way because it broke us apart. So it never took place. Not only did that break us apart, it also energetically, the way it came in, it then hooked itself into the cacique, and then he became infested with something that took over, and it demolished the medicine group. It brought up all his crazy fears from out of nowhere, and he started picking on the women, calling them witches, calling them demons. And I said, what the hell's wrong with him? My brother doesn't act like that. I know him. I know his soul. Something's wrong with him. So we had to go back through the medicine and figure out what happened. And he had to have a surgery. This is a backdoor. So he went in for surgery. He was having a thyroid surgery done. And when he came out of that surgery, he wasn't feeling the same. He didn't even look the same. He looked different. This is why it's so important when you go into surgeries and you are a healer, you're a medicine person, someone is supposed to be guarding your auric field when you are going into medicine, when you're going into surgery. Someone is supposed to be watching over your space and then be there when you come out of surgery to call you back, to call all the parts of you back so that you come back into your space. Okay? Hi, darling. Okay? This is a very true factor backdoor for a full-on attack. So let me explain this. When you go into surgery and they give you the solution that's going to count you back, okay, it's going to put you to sleep. But here's the thing. You leave when the surgery's going on. This is why a lot of people say, oh, I was out of my body during the surgery. I've been out of my body during the surgery. Saw what they were doing, saw how they were talking, who came in. And then when it was all done with and they start to call you back, you feel this whoosh sound, this whoosh, back into the body. And then this is why when you're coming out of it, you're like all spinning in your head, trying to figure out where the hell you are. And so a lot of times what's happening, a person who's in a high medicine position will get hijacked during a surgery. And it'll be very subtle until you start noticing that the person's not acting the same, that something's different about them, that they're undoing certain things, they're doing things differently, and you're like trying to figure out, why are they acting like that? Why are they doing that? You know, this is out of character for that person, okay? So we saw things that were happening, and I kept saying, that's not my brother. That's somebody else. And the grandmother was like, no, Niana, don't panic. Everything's fine. I said, no, that's not him. That's somebody else in that house. His eyes don't look right. He's not walking right. And I walk away and I'm like, and then the wind comes up when I walk away and they're like, oh, I guess we better be listening to her. The wind that came up. You know, so that was a back door. And within a year and a half, that thing took down that whole circle. Undid all the relationships, had the grandmothers fighting against each other, had the warriors fighting against each other, not trusting each other. Medicine meeting places were coming undone. Things weren't holding together. Some people showed up, some people did not. People were having marital problems all of a sudden for no reason. And here's the thing. If the head medicine person is not walking right in medicine, and then they're doing prayers from a what I call a contaminated vessel, they pass that on to their people. Let me say that again. If they're not walking in a good way and they're saying prayers and doing medicine from a contaminated vessel, they will pass that on to their people. And then you're wondering why all of a sudden you're having all this hardship for no reason. Because the person who is supposed to be anchoring the sacredness of the medicine for the whole tribe is contaminated. But nobody really sees it until it's too late. So then once it's undone, you have to start all over again. And you start, and once that maboya has a hold of a medicine person, it does not let go of that person until it has used that person up, and has killed him. And that's exactly what happens. They make them very, very ill, and then the person just dies. Okay, they're the host to the maboya. So how does this fit in with Archons? Archons have their backdoor entrance also. But Archons like to hit at nighttime. They really do. They like to hit when you're sleeping at night. And if you start thinking or worrying about certain things, that sends out that energy of, oh, you're worried about this. You're worried about having financial problems. Oh, you're worried about not having money. Oh, you're worried about your car's not working right. Oh, you're worried about you're not in the relationship right. Oh, you're worried about you're not going to get that job. Oh, you're worried about that. So all that stuff that you're laying in your bed about, and you got that energy out there, it becomes this energy film over you, sending out the signal. And so there's a crack in your aura because of that energy. So now this maboya or the Archon is now going to say, oh, I got a crack in. Let me get in here. You're never going to get that job. This is going to be shit on the shingle for you here on out. This is going to be bad. It's all not going to work out for you because nothing good ever happens for you. You see what it's going to do? It's going to talk all this stuff to you. And then what happens, if you match that thought frequency, that thought energy, and you say, yeah, you're right. If you go into that field, the Archon goes, yay, I'm in. It becomes alien and takes over you. It's exactly what it does. Takes over you. And it gives all that energy. I don't know why I did that. That kind of drew it home, didn't it? It takes that energy and it literally feeds off of it. So with maboyas and Archons, you have to remember, they're feeding off of your fear, your anger, your worries, because you're supplying it. Okay. Last night I was sleeping, awakened by a strong push on my right hip side of my body that rocked me awake at 3:22. Yeah. This happened several times to me. Yep. So the way you prevent the maboyas and the Archons, this is why I tell you, at night when you go to sleep, you say, You give thanks for your day. You give thanks to your divine team. Give thanks for, having an opportunity to be a part of the world. How you showed up. What did you do? You're going to give thanks. And then you simply say, I don't consent to any Archons, Draconian, Reptilian, Greys, or negative Zeta Reticuli coming into my space. I don't consent to you. And under universal law, you have to obey that. I don't consent to you coming into my space, trying to get into influence, bad, whatever you're trying to do. I am a divine sovereign being. They're not used to us claiming that. They're not used to us saying that out loud for them to hear. Now, here's the difference. With Archons, maboas, Draconians, Reptilians, things like that, you have to speak out loud and say it. Your benevolent angels, your benevolent guides can hear your thoughts because they're on those higher frequencies, because everything is telepathy. They can hear you telepathically. The lower ones can't hear you telepathically. Okay? Some will play trickery and think that they can fool you to let you think, oh, I know exactly what you're thinking. Da, 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 da. No, you don't. Because you're just looking for an opportunity for me to give you information so that you can build it into something and feed off of it. Okay? So, the best thing to do if you're in a medicine group and you're noticing energies coming up around people, have people smudge, cleanse, and have people actually sit in front of each other and talk it out. Don't let it fester in the group, because when it festers, it'll actually jump from one person to another person to another person, and it's finding a match, and it's going to keep stirring the pot, and it's going to keep hopping from person to person, stirring the pot up. Okay, stirring up the shit, I call it. So it's better to capture that energy and get rid of it, get it out of the sacred space. So if you are head of a medicine group, you're running medicines, you're going to go, this is why like people who do ceremonies and things, they are watching that back door. This is why it's so sacred when you go and do ceremony and you're plant medicine, or you're doing certain ceremonies that are dedicated to the elementals and bringing that medicine in. Once you're in medicine, you're in medicine. You don't leave the land, go to Walmart, come back into the medicine. No, you didn't pick up Walmart juju and now you're going to bring it into the ceremony. Once you're in ceremony, you're in ceremony. You don't leave a doorway open for something to hijack you and come into the circle and wreak havoc. That's how this works. And you'll notice little things like the person or your friend or whatever is just not themselves. Like they're picking on you for no reason. That's a personalized attack. So just keep that in mind when you're dealing with a sudden energetic change that you notice in your relationship or on a job. Now I'm going to show you how it happens on a job. So, on a job situation, especially offices, a lot of offices do not have a way to open up windows. A lot of offices are closed. They have lots of windows, but it's not as easy to open windows up and have good breeze coming in. Some offices are, depending if you're working in cubicles. I hated cubicles. Everybody can hear your conversation. Everybody's sitting there listening to everything you do. And it's also a good place for energy to hop around and do things. And it can start off as simple as computer not working right. Program just went out. Got to upload a new one. Just lost all the data. You needed to have it done by 5. You sent it over to this. Somebody didn't get it back. There's a part of it missing. Someone didn't do their part. Oh, so-and-so called in. They have the part that you're needing to get the project done. See how it just boom, 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 boom. Now you got chaos in the office. Now you got someone's upset. Someone didn't do this. Now someone's going to be threatened. Now someone might be fired. All because one little thing happened. That's also an Archon or a maboa coming in to do that. Right now there's a huge energetic one that's coming in, that's ripping down all the old stuff in our third dimension energy. And it's a collective energy of the ones that don't want this anymore and the ones that want to keep it. So you got these two energy monsters, I could call them, fighting against each other, trying to keep things in place, and the other one's coming through saying, no, we're going to destroy you, we're getting rid of it. And the other one's saying, but I'm not going, blah, blah, blah. And then you see it going like this. And now we're seeing it every day and all the stuff that's going on. And we're like sitting back going, wonder who's going to win. Pass me this Dr. Pepper over there and then the popcorn, please. Yeah, no. You know, I'm almost out of popcorn. It only took us 4 years to get to this part of the movie. Took 4 years. Star Wars was quicker. Oh my God. So, this is what we're seeing now. And we're seeing these energetic maboa Archon beings doing all this stuff. Okay? Now remember the words of what I said before. What is their intention to get your attention? Okay, what's their intention to get your attention? So let's use this one, the whole Diddy thing. Now, everybody has to understand this. That's already been dealt with. Probably about a year and a half, maybe about a year and a half ago. That's all been dealt with. Because here's the medicine behind this. Everybody that's coming out talking about it now feels safer than a dog out of hell to talk about it because they know that person doesn't exist anymore. Okay? So whatever you're seeing is either CGI, mask. His face doesn't even look right. You're seeing all the enactment with it. That's it. This is just an energy thing. You're just seeing all this play out. That's if you want to witness it. Okay? You don't have to witness that because is it important to you? How's that taking care of your bills, taking care of you, taking care of your energy? Not. Boring, actually. It's just boring stuff. It's like, so boring. So third dimensional. I find myself now saying things like, oh my God. So third dimensional. Don't have time for that. Next. Third dimensional. Next. Boring. Next. What is this bullshit? Next. That's crazy. Next. Oh, how to do healing for the chakras. Okay, let's watch this. Something more in tune. But I'm going to wrap this part up. The reason why this was important for you to understand is because when you liberate yourself, when you step into yourself, the test is, can you own it? I watch people on different platforms afraid to say, if you say the wrong word, they're freaking out because, oh, this video could get taken down. Don't say that word. No, it's not so much about the video could get taken down. It's because it's going to pinch into your pocketbook. You're not going to get paid for it, what you're presenting. It's all about the money. And I guess everybody has a price, huh? So when I hear people on these high platforms freaking out over a word, losing their shit, I start kind of laughing because I'm like, oh, you're paranoid about your money. Interesting. Paranoid. Okay, that's a fear. So understand when you are fearful, angry, jealous, envious, holding hatred, judging somebody, doing this, da 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 da. That's a doorway in Maboya. Okay? If you are currently still doing drugs and you are not taking care of the self and you're not trying to get off of your addiction, you're not hollow bones, you're not a tower of light. You have been compromised. You need to get that taken care of because you are very much so hijacked. Okay? This is the name of the game. And as we go into summer, all I can do is just shake my head. We have to be so strong in our liberation of who we are and mean what we say and mean what we do more than ever. Because we can't show up half-ass. We can't show up as a maybe. We can't show up as, I don't know. You can't show up like that. You have to be solid and, yes, I'm here. I'm present. This is what I'm doing. You have to show up. You have to be in that knowingness, not in half-ass stepping. Because your half-ass stepping could cost you your life. So it's like you have to be solid now. And you have to really mean what you say. And you have to really walk that. So that's the test. Once you go through liberation and you go into this initiation of the self, do you represent what you say and what you are here to do? What do? Do you represent it? Are you true to it? Are you true to your mission? Are you true to everything that you're doing? Or is it easy to just come in and just knock you off? Take something away from you, knock you off. Have you get all stressed out, knock you off. Is it easier to do that to you? Knock you off your game. Because if it's easy to do that, then you best be watching out in the coming months. Because it's going to be a whole different type of Game of Thrones. Like no other. This is called the Game of Lights. And it's going to be so intense. The light is intense today. Okay, just waking up this morning and seeing that the whole window is nothing but pure white light. I'm like, and I'm thinking to myself, did I die in my sleep? because I'm not going to go towards the light. That's the entrapment. And I pinch myself. Nope, I'm still here. So you want to make sure that you understand who you are, what is an Archon, and what a maboya can do. And when you see it, you invite it. You uninvite it. You say you're not welcome here. And you start to think of loving things. You start doing loving things for yourself. You might need to stay away from the person who's attacking you and say, you know what? I think we just need a little bit of a time apart. Let the energies go down, and then let's come back in a couple weeks and talk. You might have to just put the person on a timeout and don't answer any calls or texts. Okay? And just say, you know what, I just need to stay away from you. Because whatever you're experiencing, whatever you're doing, I'm not your punching bag. I'm not your energy, hit me with your best shot thing. No. Okay? So, keeping distance from people who have been compromised is one thing you definitely can do to keep yourself safe. Making sure you're anointing yourself and you got your protections on. You're taking care of things, keeping your shields up. This is what time it is. And I'm not one that buys into this, oh, well, you know, when you raise your frequency super high, you won't need to protect yourself. Okay. I've seen people who are really up there, who are shielded, and who decided not to shield themselves anymore. And I watched how they got attacked and something physically happens to them. And I'm like, when you're in a spiritual warfare, there's nothing off the table. Period. Even your damn cat's not off the table. Your cat can come and attack your ass. And you'd be wondering, like, Fluffy, what's wrong with you? I thought we were good. You know, Fluffy's coming after you all claws, wanting to take you out, paw you to death. So, Fluffy's having a bad day. Fluffy got hijacked. So you just never know. But you keep yourself shielded up and just know what time it is. Okay? So I hope this teaching really gets you thinking about what that energy looks like. And Archons, like I said, they like to operate at nighttime. They like to be those little negative whispers in your ear at nighttime, talking negative stuff to you. You want to invite that. You tell it to kick rocks and go. Don't let that stick around you. And you start feeling weird, you just get up, casually go smudge yourself, mist your area, and then just put nothing but divine, calling in your divine light all around your area and activate it. Okay? It's time to practice that medicine, y'all. This ain't no time to be trying to figure it out. You need to be up on your game. So that's what time it is. All right. Any questions about what I just talked about? Ask now, forever hold your peace. Oh my gosh. I'm just full of it today. And got me some more oils, some grapefruit oil and some lime. Brand new grapefruit. I love this company. This is such a good company. Everyone's good. Yeah, you still got that. Do you have a protective video? Protective video. No, that's a good question. I always talk about it. What do you need protection in? What's the protection you're looking for? Let's use, what shielding do you want to create? What shield are you trying to create? Is it because of work? Is it because of just going out daily in the world? Lime. Lime is very cleansing. Oh, ooh, this is good. Lime in the shower. I'm an Uber driver. Oh, yes, honey. Get attacked a lot. Okay, Uber drivers. Anyone that's driving a lot. First of all, start with your vehicle. Make sure you have black tourmaline in your vehicle. You want to have black tourmaline in the front of your car, side of your doors, back of your back seat, and in a piece in the trunk, okay? You're creating this okay, effect around your car, so that's shielded. When you are out and doing deliveries and doing things, you want to make sure you are wearing something that's a shielding protection on you. A medallion, wearing amethyst, wearing black tourmaline shield. When you're dropping off people's food, you want to show up in your strongest shield of light, that you're just dropping off wonderful food, whatever this person needs. I'm being of service of that. And call in your freaking dragons. If you work with dragons, call them in. Have your main one with you. So when you walk and you go do what you need to go do, your dragon comes with you. And your dragon can go ahead and go take a look at everything and make sure everything's safe. Prayer beads are good, but make sure your prayer beads are like a tiger's eye, black obsidian, hematite combination, lapis lazuli, amethyst, prayer beads combination. If you want to mix those up with rose quartz, you can have that mixed up with it also. That's a really good one. I made my own prayer beads with lapis lazuli, charlite, hematite, green aventurine, smoky quartz, and then regular clear quartz, and set it up. But when I made my prayer beads, I made 108 all the way around. And so when I put it on, I have it, and it just comes and clips in the front. Okay. So those are really good. When you make your own prayer beads, that's a really good thing to do, because you're sitting in the connection of divine source, and you're putting it together with your intentions. So each one of the beads that you touch, when you're stringing it and setting that prayer and that intention, you're building that energy of the intention of what you're creating. Okay? That's a beautiful. Oh, you're welcome, darling. You're welcome. So, yes, absolutely. That's what you need to do when you're over. But also, make sure you can use, if you're not sensitive to patchouli, you can use that. If not, you can use gardenia, rose. A lot of low vibrational people or beings do not like the smell of rose and gardenia. They don't even like the smell of patchouli. Okay, because that to them, they don't like the smell of it. And I don't care. I'll load my ass up with all that stuff. I'll put it on. And that was one of the problems with I said it before. I knew there was a problem when I had on a patchouli oil, and she went off on me. It was like dealing with Dracula and garlic. Like, what is that you're wearing? I'm like, patchouli? Oh, take that off. I can't stand that. No. I said, Houston, we have a problem. I was like, Oh my God, we have a serious problem here. So, you find one of your friends freaking out on you when you wear patchouli and they lose their shit. Yeah, they've been hijacked. They'll try to blame it on some, it smells too hippie, like back in the day, Woodstock time. No, 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 no. You got hijacked. You don't like your little beastie that's on you. The beastie on you doesn't like the smell of it and doesn't want you to hang out around me because it doesn't like the smell of it. So yeah, you can use that. You can spray yourself with gardenia, rose, even tobacco. Tobacco works really good. You know, you can mist a little bit of tobacco over you just to have that shielding effect. But yeah, when you go out and you're doing deliveries and stuff, first of all, have your dragons with you. And always, if you're not sure where you're going and the location doesn't feel right, you get that pit in your stomach. You might have to just, excuse me, you might have to just drop that off and run. And be one of these women when you're doing things. Don't be afraid to pack. Don't be afraid to pack. If you can pack, pack. Pow pow. That's what I'm talking about. Um, or if you don't want to go pow pow and you want to go, psh, make sure you got that. If you ain't got that, make sure you have something that you can spray to be able to go. Now, if you wear long hair, you have those nice stick pins that you can wear in your hair. Easy pull out. First place to hit somebody and you got to get away, right here. That puts them out of commission instantly. Okay? First place. If you can't get the eyes, here, quick blow to the throat, you're gone. If you can't get that, quick blow to the face, and I mean just punch it, gone. Sorry, I'm getting a little fighty about that. That's that little warrior part came out all of a sudden. So let's go ahead and wrap this up. So let's pull, since we only have 2 days left. So tomorrow we'll start talking about our preparation for the full moon, what we're doing. And I already saw how we're going to be releasing our beautiful portals. And I'm just like, oh, that's going to be so pretty. You know, because they asked us, how are we going to release our sacred portals? And what's that going to look like? And they showed it to me, and I was like, oh, I like that. Everybody's going to love it. So, our 3 cards for today coming from Miss Beautiful, the one and only, the Sacred She Tarot. Okay, so I hope I gave you good ideas of shielding for the South, because that's what time it is. Soon, we won't have to be doing this, okay? I know all of you are tired. I know all of you want to stop feeling like, God, every time I look, I gotta raise my freaking vibration all the time. When am I gonna have to just raise it and it stays up there and I don't have to keep doing it? Soon, soon, soon. Just taking time to acclimate to the higher realms that you're being gifted to finally be able to move into. And one of the things about doing the seal removal, it gives you freedom to move about the etheric easy. You're not going to run into a bump. Oh, wait a minute, I can't go to that bump. Oh, why am I not able to do that? Why am I limited? Now because you removed the seals, now you know. Okay. So that gave me great pleasure to do the seal removal. Okay, 3 cards. What are the messages today? Integrity, the root, and perfection. I love this. You guys, look at this. Integrity. Having integrity. That's that 1-4. That's the 5. So being in that change energy. But yet still, having the power and the wisdom. But yet and still knowing to be the guardian of the young ones. Okay? Having integrity. But when you have integrity, you got to be rooted. And I love yesterday, I was being challenged by a tree yesterday. Right out here, out in front. It was so funny standing out there. And I'm waiting on the van for the young one. I'm like, where's this van? This van's taking forever. And the way you know a tree is talking to you, it'll be the only tree moving and rustling its leaves while all the other trees are quiet. So pay attention to the tree that's talking to you. And this tree literally said to me, why don't you stop stressing about that and just get grounded? And I said, well, fine. Why don't you help ground me then? And it started rustling its leaves. And I said, you're the only one talking to me right now, so let's just get grounded. I felt this energy just go, and I go, oh, no, that's what I'm talking about. And then all the other trees started going like this. And I was just like, oh, so now everybody's going to join into the conversation. So the trees are very active right now. And then we have perfection is the outcome. Perfection. What is the perfection? When we have integrity and we move into the root of self, then we have the perfection. And that 13 is sacred, the woman. They have that beautiful number 13. But the tree to be rooted, and then the integrity. The tree, the having that energy of the tree that supports you. So I just shared with you how the trees like to talk. Pay attention to that because it's a beautiful thing when you recognize it, when you see it. Okay? So any questions? Everybody's good? I came on, I was able to talk a little longer today. All right, let's go ahead and wrap it up. So you are divinely aligned. You're divinely free. You're divinely awake. You're divinely seen. You're divinely heard. You're divinely loved. Be so light. Like and subscribe. Be true to your light. And I hope today's teaching really got you looking at something, maybe something weird had happened. You never could put it together. And now after listening to this, you're probably saying, oh shit, that's probably what it was. Instead of trying to take something on or blaming yourself or thinking that you did something, more than likely it was something that hitchhiked in through a crack and decided to raise holy chaos. Okay? So a lot of times we don't need to always think it's us that we did something. Something outside decided to come in and wreak havoc. Okay? All right, lovelies. I ask you to have a wonderful, beautiful day to yourselves. And we're almost done with this journey. I know a lot of you have really changed, and a lot of leveling up has happened in your life when you do this type of work. And it's because we're building in that momentum. We're in a sacred bubble of energy that's assisting you and it's helping you. And that's the whole intention of why we do what we do together. So be your light. Stay true to your light. Okay? And if anything comes in talking smack to you that don't sound divine, you tell it, go kick rocks and bye-bye. Get out of here. Under universal law, you don't belong here. Get out. Bye. All right? So be good to yourself. Much love to all of you, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.